While the UK is well known for its haunted cities like London, Edinburgh, and York, it's not just the urban areas that hold dark secrets. Scattered across the countryside are quiet villages with chilling histories and ghostly legends, some of the most haunted places in the nation. These eerie little spots may seem peaceful by day, but after dark, their centuries-old secrets come alive. Now we will visit the most haunted villages in UK. Number 1. Hawkesbury, Upton, Gloucestershire. Hawkesbury, Upton, a peaceful village tucked away in Gloucestershire's rolling countryside, hides a dark and eerie side that few outsiders know about. Known for its charming stone cottages and quiet lanes, this village also carries a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted in the UK. Beneath its calm exterior lies a long history of ghost stories, unexplained events, and whispered legends that have been passed down through generations. Locals often speak of the ghostly monk who haunts the village church. Said to have once been a devoted servant of the church centuries ago, the monk is now seen wandering the graveyard at dusk, his hooded figure drifting silently between the headstones. Some have claimed to hear soft chanting late at night or feel sudden cold gusts of wind with no explanation. Others say they've caught glimpses of the monk peering from the church windows, vanishing as soon as he's spotted. But the monk isn't the only spirit said to roam Hawkesbury, Upton. The story of the Grey Lady has chilled residents for over 100 years. She is believed to be the ghost of a heartbroken woman who lived in the village during the 1800s. After her fiancé died tragically in an accident just days before their wedding, she spent the rest of her life in mourning. Her sorrow is said to have kept her spirit bound to this world. People report seeing a pale woman in gray walking slowly along the village's narrow paths, her eyes full of sadness. She vanishes without a trace if approached. Even the surrounding woods are not free from eerie tales. Strange lights have been seen glowing between the trees, and people have reported hearing footsteps behind them, only to turn and find no one there. Locals warn against entering the woods after dark, sharing old stories of travelers getting lost and feeling like they were being watched. Visitors to Hawkesbury, Upton often speak of a heavy, unexplained feeling that settles in as night falls. Doors open and close on their own. Pets refuse to enter certain rooms, and old portraits seem to follow you with their eyes. Whether you're a believer in the supernatural or just love a good ghost story, this quiet village holds mysteries that continue to haunt both the land and the people who call it home. Number 2. St. Mary's, Isles of Scilly. St. Mary's, the largest island in the Isles of Scilly, is known for its beautiful coastline, quiet charm, and stunning sea views. But behind its peaceful appearance lies a darker side filled with ghost stories and mysterious happenings that have given this island village a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the UK. The combination of shipwrecks, ancient burial grounds, and centuries of seafaring tragedy have left behind lingering spirits that many say still wander the island. One of the most chilling stories comes from the old churchyard near Old Town. Locals have long spoken of shadowy figures drifting between the graves at night. Many believe these are the restless souls of shipwreck victims, buried in unmarked graves after their bodies washed ashore. Visitors report hearing soft whispers on the wind and feeling sudden cold spots, even on warm summer nights. Some claim to have seen a woman in a long black dress, standing silently among the stones, vanishing when approached. St. Mary's is also home to tales of haunted cottages, where strange noises echo through the halls and lights flicker without cause. One small house near the harbor is known for footsteps heard on the stairs when no one is home, and objects that move on their own. Residents have even spoken of ghostly figures appearing in mirrors and the sounds of crying in empty rooms. Another terrifying tale comes from the garrison, the old fort built to protect the island centuries ago. Guards have reported hearing marching boots on the stone paths, even though no one is there. Some believe the spirits of long-dead soldiers still patrol the area, guarding against enemies that are long gone. The deep underground tunnels of the garrison are especially eerie, with sudden drops in temperature and a feeling of being followed reported by many who dare to explore them. The coastal paths of St. Mary's also carry their share of ghostly stories. People have seen glowing lights moving across the cliffs and heard cries from the sea with no boats in sight. These are believed to be the echoes of sailors who never made it home. The island's beauty may draw visitors in, but it's the ghostly legends and unexplained encounters that leave a lasting impression, making St. Mary's a truly haunted and unforgettable place. Number 3. Aldeburgh, Suffolk. Aldeburgh, a quaint coastal village in Suffolk, is known for its shingle beach, historic buildings, and artistic charm, but hidden beneath its beauty is a shadowy past that has made it one of the most haunted places in the UK. With a long history tied to the sea, shipwrecks, and wartime tragedies, Aldeburgh is home to ghostly legends that continue to chill locals and visitors alike. One of the most well-known hauntings in Aldeburgh is that of the Moot Hall, a striking timber-framed building that dates back to the 16th century. People have reported strange sounds echoing through its old walls, heavy footsteps, whispered conversations, and doors opening and closing on their own. Some even say they've seen the ghost of a former town official pacing the upper floor, holding papers and mumbling as if stuck in a moment of unfinished business. Along the beach, there are chilling tales of a ghostly fisherman who appears during storms. Locals believe he was a sailor who died during a violent sea wreck centuries ago. His shadowy figure has been seen dragging a net along the shore, vanishing as quickly as he appears. Some fishermen even refuse to cast their nets on certain nights, claiming the ghost brings bad luck or calls out warnings that echo over the crashing waves. Not far from the village stands the ruins of a long-lost chapel buried by the shifting coastline. People say that on foggy evenings, a faint bell can be heard ringing from under the sea, believed to be the chapel's bell tolling from beneath the waves. It's said to be a warning of approaching storms or a reminder of the lives lost to the relentless sea. The Martello Tower, standing watch over the coastline, is another location surrounded by eerie stories. Built as a defense structure during the Napoleonic Wars, it is now known for sudden drops in temperature, strange lights, and the feeling of being watched. Some say the spirits of long-dead soldiers still guard it, unwilling to leave their post. Despite its charm, Aldeburgh carries an air of mystery and quiet unease. For those who dare to explore after dark, this peaceful seaside village becomes something much more haunting, where history lingers not just in buildings and stories, but in the very air itself. Number 4. Cromer, Norfolk. Cromer, a picturesque seaside town on the Norfolk coast, is known for its beautiful beaches, Victorian charm, and famous crab dishes, but beneath its cheerful surface lies a darker, more chilling reputation. Cromer is also one of the most haunted places in the UK, with ghost stories stretching back centuries. From phantom ships to spectral monks, the town is steeped in eerie legends and unexplained encounters that continue to frighten locals and visitors alike. One of the most famous ghost stories of Cromer is that of the ghost ship seen off the coast. On stormy nights, witnesses have reported seeing an old sailing vessel appearing through the mist, its sails torn and its deck empty. The ship glides silently across the water before vanishing without a trace. Many believe it is the ghost of a vessel lost during a fierce storm hundreds of years ago, doomed to repeat its final journey forever. Cromer Pier is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Staff and visitors have reported hearing footsteps late at night, even when the pier is empty. Strange whispers, cold gusts of air, and the feeling of being watched are common experiences. Some even claim to have seen the figure of a man in old-fashioned clothing staring out at the sea before disappearing into the mist. Some say he was a fisherman who died during a rescue attempt and now stands watch over the waters. The Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in the heart of Cromer is home to its own terrifying tale. A ghostly monk has been seen wandering the churchyard and nearby paths. Dressed in robes and often carrying a lantern, the monk vanishes if approached. Locals say he may be searching for something lost long ago or guarding a hidden secret buried beneath the church. Another eerie story involves the cliffs near Cromer. People walking along the edge have reported hearing ghostly cries and seeing shadowy figures below, believed to be the spirits of those who lost their lives to the unforgiving sea. The cliffs hold many secrets, and strange lights are sometimes seen flickering near the water's edge. Cromer may be bright and bustling during the day, but when night falls, its haunted past rises to the surface. With every crashing wave and echoing footstep, it reminds visitors that not everything in this seaside town can be explained. Number 5. Prestbury, Gloucestershire. Prestbury, a quiet village in Gloucestershire with charming cottages and ancient lanes, hides a reputation that sends shivers down the spine. Known as one of the most haunted villages in the UK, Prestbury is home to a chilling collection of ghost stories that have lingered for centuries. With a history stretching back to medieval times and ties to the English Civil War, this village holds secrets that refuse to rest in peace. The most famous spirit of Prestbury is the Black Abbot, a ghostly figure seen around St. Mary's Church. Dressed in long dark robes, he is believed to have been a monk or abbot in the village centuries ago. Witnesses describe him as silent and calm, gliding across the churchyard and even appearing inside the church itself. He has been spotted especially around Easter and Christmas, always at the same times of day, leading many to believe he's reliving a ritual from his past. Prestbury is also haunted by the ghost of a royalist soldier from the Civil War. He is said to gallop through the village on horseback, reenacting his final ride before being killed in battle. Locals have reported the sound of hooves clattering down empty streets late at night, only to find no trace of a rider. His phantom has been seen charging through Shaw Green Lane, his face pale and his uniform blood-stained. Another chilling tale surrounds a cottage known for poltergeist activity. Residents over the years have reported objects moving on their own, cold spots, and strange knocking on the walls. One family even claimed to see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed during the night, watching silently before fading away. The village also has tales of ghostly footsteps heard in narrow alleys, unexplained mists forming in certain parts of the village, and sudden chills even on warm days. One of the most unsettling areas is the ancient burial ground where people have seen figures standing silently among the graves, disappearing when approached. Despite its peaceful appearance, Prestbury carries an eerie atmosphere that deepens after dark. Visitors often say they feel they're not alone, even when the streets are empty. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, Prestbury's haunted history is hard to ignore, and its spirits seem determined to keep their stories alive. Number 6. Pluckley, Kent. Pluckley, a quiet village nestled in the countryside of Kent, holds a reputation unlike any other in England. Known as the most haunted village in the UK, it's surrounded by chilling legends and ghost stories that have been passed down for centuries. With over a dozen reported ghosts and countless eerie encounters, Pluckley is a place where the past never truly rests. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the village is the Red Lady, believed to be a member of the ancient Deering family. She is often seen wandering the graveyard of St. Nicholas Church, searching for her lost child. Dressed in a flowing red cloak, she appears with a deep sadness that touches anyone who sees her. Close by, the White Lady, also linked to the Deering family, is seen drifting through the church's interior, fading into the walls as if part of the building itself. The Screaming Man is another terrifying tale from Pluckley. Said to haunt the brickworks, his blood-curdling cries echo through the night. Locals believe he was a worker who met a tragic end in an explosion, and now relives his final moments in an endless loop. Near the Pinnock Bridge, a ghostly coach and horses have been seen racing through the darkness, their wheels making no sound as they vanish into the mist. Fright Corner, a spot with a strange name, has its own ghost story. It's haunted by the spirit of a highwayman who was killed in a sword fight. His shadowy figure has been seen leaning against a tree, watching passersby. Sometimes, the sounds of clashing swords can be heard in the silence of night. Another eerie tale comes from the old mill, now in ruins. A ghostly miller is said to appear there with strange lights glowing from the collapsed structure and footsteps heard echoing on the broken floorboards. Even the woods around Pluckley are not safe. Deering Wood, also known as the Screaming Woods, is notorious for unexplained screams, whispers, and footsteps. People who enter after dark often feel they're being followed, and some have become disoriented or even lost for hours. In Pluckley, the line between the living and the dead feels thin. Its peaceful daytime charm quickly fades as night falls. revealing a village where the ghosts of the past still walk among us. Number 7. Winchcombe, Gloucestershire. Winchcombe, a historic village nestled in the Cotswold Hills of Gloucestershire, is as beautiful as it is eerie. With its medieval streets, ancient abbey ruins, and centuries-old cottages, Winchcombe seems frozen in time. But beneath its picture-perfect surface lies a haunted legacy that has earned it a chilling reputation. Ghost sightings, mysterious sounds, and stories of restless spirits have made this village one of the most haunted in the UK. Scilly Castle, just outside the village, is at the heart of Winchcombe's ghostly legends. This grand, centuries-old castle has seen war, royalty, and tragedy. It is said to be haunted by the spirit of Queen Catherine Parr, the sixth wife of Henry VIII, who is buried in the castle chapel. Visitors and staff have seen a lady in Tudor dress wandering the gardens and corridors, vanishing through walls and locked doors. Some claim she appears when the castle is unusually quiet, her presence peaceful, but unmistakably otherworldly. The castle is also said to be haunted by a mysterious white figure often seen in the library and along the castle battlements. Cold drafts and the sound of footsteps with no source are commonly reported. Others tell of a weeping woman heard sobbing near the Queen's Garden, believed to be a former mate who died under tragic circumstances. In the heart of Winchcombe itself, eerie events have been reported along Vineyard Street and Castle Street, where people have claimed to see shadowy figures walking past windows and disappearing through solid doors. Old inns in the village, with histories dating back to the 1300s, are hotspots for ghost sightings. Guests have reported hearing footsteps on creaky floorboards, whispers in empty rooms, and doors opening on their own. Some inns are said to be visited by former landlords or soldiers who never truly checked out. The Church of St. Peter is another location with a haunted reputation. A hooded figure has been seen near the church gates at twilight, believed to be a medieval monk still watching over the souls buried there. Locals have reported sudden drops in temperature and the feeling of being watched when walking by at night. Winchcombe may offer charm and history by day, but when the sun sets, its haunted past begins to stir. With every creak, shadow, and whisper, it reminds all who visit that some spirits never leave. Number 8. Whitby, North Yorkshire. Whitby, a historic fishing village on the rugged coast of North Yorkshire, is steeped in mystery, legend, and ghostly tales. Famous for its dramatic cliffs, ancient abbey, and ties to Bram Stoker's Dracula, Whitby is more than just a scenic seaside town. It's one of the most haunted places in the UK. With centuries of seafaring tragedy, religious conflict, and folklore woven into its cobbled streets, the spirits of the past are said to linger in the shadows. At the top of the 199 stone steps overlooking the town stand the ruins of Whitby Abbey. This Gothic structure, once a grand monastery, is said to be haunted by the ghost of a nun who broke her vows. Known as the White Lady, her glowing figure has been seen drifting among the arches, her face pale with sorrow. Visitors report hearing chanting on the wind and feeling sudden chills in the stillness of the ruined chapel. The nearby Church of St. Mary is also steeped in ghostly legend. Its surrounding graveyard, perched on the cliff edge, is said to be haunted by restless souls lost to the sea. During storms, locals claim to hear eerie voices crying out from the waves below, perhaps the spirits of sailors and fishermen who never returned home. Whitby's narrow lanes and alleyways hide more than just history. In the heart of the old town, tales are told of ghostly footsteps echoing late at night and of shadowy figures that vanish when followed. One popular story tells of a phantom coach that rushes through the streets, pulled by black horses and driven by a headless man. It is said to appear on the anniversary of a great shipwreck that once claimed many lives. Even the sea holds its secrets. The ghost of a young girl, believed to have drowned in the harbor, is said to appear on misty mornings near the old lifeboat station. Her laughter has been heard echoing across the water, and some fishermen claim she appears just before a storm hits. Whitby's haunting beauty draws people in, but its dark legends are what stay with them. With every crashing wave, creaking signpost, and flickering lantern, the village whispers reminders of its ghostly past. It's a place where the boundary between the living and the dead feels thin, and where some stories refuse to be forgotten. Number 9. Hinton, Ampner, Hampshire. Hinton, Ampner, a peaceful village nestled in the rolling hills of Hampshire, hides a chilling reputation behind its charming landscape. Though it may look like a quiet countryside retreat, Hinton, Ampner is considered one of the most haunted villages in the UK, with a long and eerie history filled with terrifying stories and unexplained phenomena. At the heart of these ghostly tales stands Hinton Ampner House, a stately home with a past so haunted it once drove a family to flee. In the 18th century, the original house on the estate became infamous for its disturbing hauntings. Tenants reported strange noises, loud footsteps, knocks, and whispers echoing through the halls with no visible source. People spoke of doors slamming shut on their own and the sound of heavy breathing just outside their bedrooms. Some even saw figures lurking in the corners of rooms or moving silently down long corridors. The hauntings grew so intense that the building was eventually abandoned and later demolished. The current house was built in the 20th century, but the ghost stories didn't end there. The most terrifying legend tied to Hinton Ampner is the story of the Nameless Evil, a dark spirit believed to have haunted the estate for generations. Said to be linked to a former tenant who practiced black magic, this presence was described as overwhelmingly sinister. Witnesses reported overwhelming dread, poltergeist activity, and cold spots that couldn't be explained. Some claim the entity followed them, whispering in their ears or tugging at their clothes in the dead of night. The gardens and surrounding woods are also rumored to be haunted. Visitors have felt sudden chills in warm weather, heard soft weeping coming from the hedgerows, and seen ghostly figures moving between the trees. A hooded figure, possibly a former monk or priest, has been seen wandering near the estate's edge, vanishing when approached. The village itself carries echoes of the past. Locals tell stories of hearing phantom bells ringing late at night and glimpsing shadowy forms in the fields and lanes. While Hinton Ampner remains a popular spot for visitors, those who stay after dark often speak of an uneasy feeling, like being watched by something ancient and unseen. In this village, the ghosts of history are never far away. Number 10. Chillingham, Northumberland. Chillingham, a small and eerie village in Northumberland, may be quiet in appearance, but it holds a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted places in the UK. Surrounded by dark woods and misty hills, the village's heart is Chillingham Castle, a place so haunted has earned global fame. With centuries of war, torture, and sorrow soaked into its stones, Chillingham isn't just haunted, it's overflowing with restless spirits. The castle, dating back to the 12th century, is known as one of the most haunted castles in Britain. One of its most famous ghosts is the Blue Boy, whose haunting was so intense that visitors once reported hearing his cries echoing through the castle walls at night. A glowing blue light would appear near a bedroom, often followed by the boy's ghost emerging from a wall. During renovations, the skeletal remains of a child and fragments of blue cloth were discovered behind that very wall, giving chilling weight to the legend. Another terrifying spirit is the Torturer of Chillingham, said to be the ghost of John Sage, the castle's executioner during medieval times. Sage was known for his cruelty, and it's believed he personally tortured and killed hundreds during the border wars. His presence is felt in the dungeon, where visitors have experienced sudden nausea, panic, and even physical touches. Some have seen a dark, hulking figure lurking in the shadows or felt icy hands grip their shoulders. The castle's chapel and great hall are also known for unexplained footsteps, flickering lights, and sudden drops in temperature. A gray lady, believed to be a grieving spirit, is often seen gliding silently through the corridors or standing by windows, staring out at the moors. Some say she's waiting for a lost lover who never returned from battle. Even outside the castle walls, the village carries an eerie energy. Locals speak of strange mists that appear out of nowhere, ghostly voices in the woods, and shadowy figures wandering the surrounding paths. Some refuse to walk alone at night, believing the spirits of those who suffered within the castle still roam free. In Chillingham, history doesn't just linger, it haunts. Every creak, whisper, and cold gust of wind seems to carry a story, reminding visitors that in this village, the past is never truly gone.